The PDP has accused the ruling APC of plans to steal public funds to fund their 2019 campaign and also dismissed the endorsement from farmers claiming the APC plan to use public funds illegally. And the APC internal trouble thickens as the party national chairman drops a tacit political message for the governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, saying the era of family connection government will be over. The party staged a rally for Hope Uzodinma and the APC in the state earlier today. Hello everyone and many thanks for joining in. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Shunwa Kimbaloye in Lagos. It's a Friday edition of the program. Welcome on board. And there's so much to talk about. But let's check out our countdown clock right here on Channels Television as we look forward to the 2019 general elections and the opening of the first day of ballot. We'll put you right in the mood. It is 56 days and we'll bring you up to date on some of the major stories making the rounds. Let's tell you about the event of today in Imo State, where the All Progressives Congress APC and its candidate Senator Hope Uzodinma staged a rally to kickstart the party's campaign ahead of the 2019 governorship election campaigns. At the rally, where the governor Rochas Okorocha was obviously absent, it was an obvious reason of the differences with the choice of Senator Uzodinma and the wake of the battle between Mr. Okorocha and the party national chairman Adams Oshiomhole. The national chairman did not leave anything to guesswork as he dropped some political message for the governor.
On your behalf, I bring a message of hope, but never again shall we govern on the basis of family connection. Whether you know somebody, you don't know somebody, you marry from me, I not marry from you, that shall not be the basis for winning the next election. I bring you a message of hope that from now on, we will govern in a way that we leave no man in doubt that democracy is about government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Well then, there are some other stories that will interest you apart from the politics of family connection, which Adams Oshiomhole is talking about there. We'll take a moment and look at some of the political stories on our political roundup.
President Muhammadu Buhari has met with the Muhammadu Buhari Oshibajo Dynamic Support Group, who have promised to deliver 2.7 million votes towards the president's 2019 re-election bid.
I am honestly impressed.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has invited civil society organizations to partner with his political party to promote democracy in the country and prevent dictatorship. At a parley with civil society organizations in Abuja, the former vice president condemned some of the steps being taken by the present government, like the face-off with international non-governmental organizations such as Amnesty International and UNICEF. The candidate and his team answered other questions on how they will deal with challenges in key sectors if elected into office.
Civil society groups and the political parties have to partner in protecting rule of law, freedom, and democracy in this country.
22 out of the 28 standard bearers of political parties in Bauchi State have signed the pact for the peaceful conduct of the forthcoming governorship election in March 2019. They append their signatures to the peace accord document at the INEC headquarters in Bauchi under the auspices of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. A factional governorship candidate in the Ogun State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Ladia Debutu, has been reacting to an appeal court judgment delivered in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, describing it as victory over manipulation and abuse of court processes by Senator Buruji Kashamu.
From our understanding and hearing of what was read in the court, Buruji and his cohorts, they are not candidates as stated by that judgment.
Well, get a seat, everyone, because this one might require you to sit tight, perhaps enjoy or get informed. Our major story of the day, everyone. The People's Democratic Party, the main opposition party in Nigeria, has accused the ruling APC, the All Progressives Congress, of plans to siphon and steal public funds to fund the 2019 campaigns. The party condemned the purported endorsement of farmers who are said to be raising funds for President Muhammadu Buhari's re-election. In Aba, about 2 days ago, the PDP chairman, Uche Secondus, had said it wasn't possible for the farmers to support Buhari considering the events of the past months with herdsmen. Take a listen to him.
The farmers are no longer going to farm, are they? No! They have been killed. So who is that person that will go and vote? The incoming president, his first priority to provide and protect life and property. After that, he will unlock to this nation the potential that is in you, because he's a man who believes in hunting for the best and hunting for the talents.
Well, so there are issues around the cap over campaign funding, how much is expected to be spent for a presidential election. For example, it's 1 billion as stated by the Electoral Act of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So when people say we're supporting, some group of people say they will give President Muhammadu Buhari 1.7 million votes guaranteed in the bag for him. Where are these supports coming from? Where are the funds coming from? We get perspectives on this one. The PDP is saying the APC will siphon funds and steal from public funds since there are no persons that is ready to support or endorse President Muhammadu Buhari. The debate begins now on the program. Let's get perspectives on this one. The National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Kola Ologundiyan, joins us from our Abuja studio, and as well as the National Coordinator of the Buhari Campaign Group, Mr. Danlade Pasali. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Mr. Pasali, let me begin with you. Is it true that farmers are endorsing President Buhari? We also learn that they may be contributing money for President up to the tune of over $1 billion. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. About 2 days or a day, yesterday, the farmers came together under the umbrella of RIFA and endorsed Mr. President and also promised to contribute their own quota. You know, the issue is that it's very, very clear. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria where we stop importation of all sorts of things, including rice, and now we're eating our own rice. And the present administration has mobilized Nigerian farmers, has mobilized Nigerians to go back to farm. Farm has become another alternative business for Nigerians, even for civil servants, even for so many businessmen. You see, so many people have alternative business, that is farming, that has been promoted by this government. And we have now stopped the importation of rice. Now we are proud to say that we have what we call Ebonyi State rice, we have Anambra rice, we have Kebbi rice, we have all sorts of rice. People are now exporting rice. So in fact, it's not surprised that the Nigerian farmers will come together and endorse Mr. President, because the masses of this country are happy with Mr. President, because farming has been the key that we have neglected for the past 16 years of PDP administration. And now he's bringing it back, and the farmers are so happy because it's the first time that the government have brought in Anko Brower program, whereby they assisted Nigerians to go back to farm. So it is not surprise. And we know that they are not just mere saying it, they are going to make it real.
Mr. Pasali, do you have the names, or are you aware of how they are contributing? Because I understand that some of the farmers are contributing as low as 500 naira to the Buhari campaign organization or the APC presidential campaign. Have you been able to put faces to the names of those who are coming forward? Because those are the allegations that there are really no real people in these names that you've mentioned.
No, you see, apart from the reefer, we have so many all Nigerian farmers. There are over 30 different farmer organizations that came together. You see, the truth is that it's part of appreciation. People appreciate a system. People believe that this is a government that encourage our local production, encourage people to go back to farm. And that is what is being abandoned for the past 15 years since we came into democracy in Nigeria. In those days, you see the granite pyramid, you see the cotton industry that has been abandoned by the past administration. All our cotton industry has been closed up.
All right.
And it created a lot of problems for us.
Okay, so
that we are seeing a lot
just a moment, Mr. Pasali. Let's get Mr. Olagbondiyan to this one. The PDP is not happy, and they have a different opinion on this. They do not believe that this is happening. For example, Mr. Olagbondiyan, I will quote you. He said, information at our disposal also reveals that the anchor borrowers scandal is yet another scheme by the Buhari presidency to siphon public funds and surreptitiously route same to Mr. President's campaign. End of quote. Those are your words, Mr. Olagbondiyan. Do you have evidence of this?
So, that program, which the All Progressives Congress claim that the Central Bank of Nigeria is going to raise through Association of Nigerian Farmers a sum of 1.2 billion is a fraud, is a scam, and it shows manifestly the corruption that has permeated this government. For your information, Seun, and let me through you inform Nigerians that are not aware, the reform program under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration has imposed pains and anguish on Nigerians. Nigerian farmers, peasants, were told to register with 100 naira. They were told to pay a sum of 7.5 naira. They were told that each farmer will benefit, depending on the hectares of land that they possess, will benefit a minimum of 200,000 to engage in farming. So you can conduct your check across this federation as we speak under President Muhammadu Buhari administration. No farmer has been given 100,000, not to talk of the promise 200,000. What they have done so far in refund or through refund is to give 3 bags of seeds, a pumping machine, and a hose of 5 feet, which they ask 2 people to go and use. And for them to now turn around and claim that the same Nigerians whom they have relooted or whom they have looted resources from are now contributing 100 naira for Buhari's campaign is the height of corruption. And it manifestly shows that this government is a scam.
Okay, Mr. Olagbondiyan, we will take a short break. But when we come back, there are facts from the CBN saying that there are 55 billion naira that has been spent over the last 2 years to over 250,000 farmers under the Anchors Bora program. But there are also information that about 2 million people are bringing money into the donation to President. We'll try to make sense and find where the fact and the lies lie tonight on the program. That's when we return from this break. We take that break, and when we return, the conversation continues, everyone. Join us again.
The incoming president, his first priority to provide and protect life and property. After that, he will unlock to this nation the potential that is in you, because he's a man who believes in hunting for the best and hunting for the talents. The potential here in Aba and East, there are too many to mention, so much to do. Nnewi is today producing the buses that we are using today. Am I right? Yes. They are producing the batteries that we are using today. Am I right? Yes. The president that is coming will double that effort. And will encourage.
I'm not sure whether the other party, you can even have an opportunity like this to ask them any question. I'm told that one has debated, but we all know the answer of that debate. The second one, I am very sure is not going to debate. So how do you assess somebody who is not ready to tell you what he wants to do? Those days are gone, my good people. The future of this country, a country that leads the continent, that is not the example we want to set for this continent. The whole world is going in a direction. If you are seeking a position, you must come and tell people what you want to do.
In the last election, and a platform offered a new, ambitious plan for a secure, prosperous, and corruption-free country. We have worked hard to fulfill our promises, and while the road may have been difficult over the last 3.5 years, we have laid the foundation for a strong, stable, and prosperous country for the majority of our people.
Welcome back, everyone. So there is a knotty issue here that we're trying to find solution and trying to get a sense of what is happening exactly. So the People's Democratic Party is saying the Anchor's Borrower program of the federal government is a scam. They're saying that is a means to siphon money. The federal government will tell you that it spent over 500 billion naira to farmers for production in Nigeria, to about 250,000 of them. So when they said that those farmers want to appreciate the president and contribute to his campaign, the PDP is saying that is fraud. And that gets us talking tonight. Let's get back to the conversation. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan is the National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party. And we have Mr. Danladi Pasali, is the National Coordinator of the Buhari Campaign Organization. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. Mr. Ologbondiyan, if you look at what the CBN had said, they did say about 55 billion has been disbursed by the central bank to over 250,000 farmers under the scheme. We see pictures of these, some of them rice farmers, some of these companies that are involved in all of this. Are you telling Nigerians that that is not true?
Sheil, the Anchor Borrowing Program predated this administration. And in time past, particularly during President Goodluck Jonathan's administration, yes, there were cases of funds being distributed to farmers. But I am insisting that under this government, under this administration, that farmers are being scammed. And that there is nowhere in the entire nation where farmers have been told that they're going to contribute a sum of 100 naira for the campaign of President Muhammadu Buhari. And I'm insisting, and my party is also insisting, that for anybody, whether the CBN governor or whoever, to come out and claim that Nigerian farmers are raising funds for President Muhammadu Buhari is a fraud, is a scam. It is the height of corruption that is associated with this ruling government.
Mr. Pasali, come on this one.
Yes.
We have reports of saying that you, or is it that I heard you say about 2 million people already coming together, but the CBN said it's about 250,000 that they've been able to disburse money into. It seems to be a gray area there. Can you tell us what the truth is in this matter, considering what Mr. Ologbondiyan is saying?
You see, Seun, the truth is that there is nothing in the eye of the opposition, because it is really a shame. People that have ruled this country for 16 years could not offer anything for this country.
There they go again.
The truth is that Nigerian farmers are so happy. We are no more importing rice. We are no more importing toothpick. We are no more importing all sorts of nonsense. And that the country is making a headway. And Nigeria appreciate that the government has really given them all the support and the support to go back to farm. And on their own. There is no, they're talking of CBM governor, they're talking of, we are talking of farmers coming together on their own to say they are contributing because they appreciate what Mr. President and what the government has done to them, that at least in those days, somebody will go back to farm and there is nowhere you can sell your things, because they have bastardized the system in the sense that importing, make Nigeria as a dumping ground for all sorts of products. But now what the present administration is doing is that they're encouraging Nigerians to go back to farm, and the farmers on their own. It is association of farmers. There is no issue of CBN or issue of even the federal government. It is the association of farmers that came together and said, look, Mr. President, we thank you for this encouragement. We thank you for this ban. We should continue to ban importation of all sorts of things that can be produced in Nigeria. And now they are now contributing to the campaign of Mr. This is not the first time. At one time, the whole Nigeria came together in 2015, 2014 to contribute to Mr. President's campaign. Even if you look at it, even the form for his contest, we are the people that bought the form for Mr. President.
Mr. Pasali, maybe we should correct
President,
some
and we want Mr. President
some of the things that you said. You did say that Nigeria no longer import rice. That may not be entirely true.
Yes.
The fact that we have is that rice importation has dropped drastically. But there are no facts to defend what you said that Nigeria no longer import rice. Maybe your facts it needs to be checked, isn't it?
No, I have the fact, and you see, let me tell you, it's a matter of fact. If you go down to the rural area where we have enough rice in abundance, people are, you see, the issue of importation of rice is not even drastically reduced. There is no more importation of rice. We're happy to say that even our neighbors, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, are buying Nigerian rice.
So let me go. There's another major issue. The PDP is saying to the APC that, for example,
it's something they have not been able to do for the past 16 years that this government is doing within 3.5 years.
And so, okay, so Mr. Ologbondiyan, you've heard them there. Why is your party concerned now? Because you have not given us an empirical fact on how you think they are siphoning funds. Is it from whose account to whose account? If Nigerians will want to know, so that this is not just a blank jacket allegation.
It is not a blank jacket allegation. The reports that were published stated that the CBN claimed that through its anchor borrowing program, that Nigerian farmers are contributing 100 naira for the campaign of the election of President Muhammadu Buhari. And we have put an absolute lie to that. And you can check the facts. There is no Nigeria. If he claimed that Association of Nigerian Farmers are raising money for President Muhammadu Buhari, let him be honest enough to tell Nigerians where they gather and where they took their decision to raise money for President Muhammadu Buhari. But having said that, Seun, it is totally misplaced and a misplacement of fact for my friend seated here to claim that Nigerians no longer eat imported rice. It is an absolute falsehood for him to say that. What they have done is that they are generating funds for our neighboring countries where imported rice are brought in to get to Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Ologbondiyan, let's close this. Let's close the conversation and let's do it in this manner. Mr. Ologbondiyan,
it's an absolute falsehood.
Just a moment.
They are just seeking.
All right, let's close the conversation. We're out of time, but we have about 20 seconds to round off our thoughts, and I'll give both of you the opportunity to do so. Is your party afraid of what is happening in the APC? Because that's what they're saying. They're saying that your party, the PDP, is jittery. In 20 seconds, if you can just round off your thoughts, please. Mr. Ologbondiyan.
The APC and President Buhari have lost the 2019 election. Nigerians have seen through them that they are just a group of scammers and nobody is interested in their government any longer.
All right.
That is the absolute fact. And February 16, 2019 will prove to the All Progressives Congress and President Muhammadu Buhari that Nigerians have long moved beyond their political party and their candidates.
Mr. Pasali, let's close the program with your final thought. It does look like you are going to get a big challenge from the People's Democratic Party as you're spotlighting on some of your activities. Are you afraid that this one may be a tough one for your party in the 2019 general elections, as your party might be in trouble ahead of this election? In 20 seconds, please.
You see, Mr. Shehu, we have not lost sleep. We know that the PDP is gone forever. Nigeria have not forgotten.
It is a shit that people like you created. It is a mess that people like you created in the PDP
under the People's Democratic Party.
It is only under a government
allow me. You have said yours.
A government like this.
You see, let me
find a situation.
Mr. Ologbondiyan, let's allow Mr. Pasali to have his.
You are wasting your time. The PDP is gone forever. We have not lost sleep.
All right.
I'm telling you.
That's where we leave it.
Very, very
because
clear.
we're out of time.
That Nigeria have seen disaster. Nigeria have now seen reformation. They have now seen clear vision.
All right, we're out of time, gentlemen. But I must thank both of you for coming on the show tonight. That's it. Mr. Kola Ologbondiyan, National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, and Mr. Danladi Pasali of the Buhari Campaign Organization. Both of them sharing their thoughts here. That's our show today, everyone. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again on Sunday at 8 p.m. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.